Liam Cross's boots hit the cracked metal floor, sending up a spray of dust and sparks. The abandoned research station shuddered around him, groaning like it was alive. One wrong step could snap a beam loose and he didn't have time to think twice. The warning sirens had already fallen silent, leaving only the eerie hum of failing machinery. Then he heard it, a soft, panicked whimper. He froze. It wasn't human. The sound was higher, fragile, almost like the cry of a small bird, but alien. He scanned the wreckage. Shadows twisted across walls, and somewhere beneath a tangle of cables and broken panels, something small struggled to move. Without hesitation, Liam sprinted toward it, dodging falling debris. A panel collapsed mere inches from his shoulder, sparks scattering like fireflies. "Hold on," he muttered, heart hammering. "I've got you." The child, or whatever it was, glimmered faintly in the dim light. Its skin pulsed with a soft, bioluminescent glow, illuminating strange markings like a living map. Liam crouched, brushing debris aside. The creature's eyes, large, liquid, and almost human in emotion, locked on him. Fear, confusion, and hope all mingled in that gaze. He had never seen anything like it. A beam above groaned, cracking. Liam grabbed the alien child, feeling its tiny, trembling form in his arms. The glow intensified as if sensing safety. Just as he lifted it, the ceiling gave way. Dust and metal rained down and he ran, dodging, weaving, every step a gamble. He could hear it, metal screeching, something deep within the station stirring. The child whimpered, pressing itself against his chest. Liam whispered, "Stay close. We'll make it out." Ahead, the exit corridor was partially blocked by fallen beams. Liam's mind raced. One plan fast. He grabbed a cable and used it as a makeshift rope to pull a beam aside. It shifted just enough. Sweat and dust stung his eyes, but he ignored it. Every second counted. A low rumble shook the floor. Something else was moving down the hallway, something large. Liam froze, holding the child tighter. He could hear heavy, irregular steps echoing off the walls. Whatever it wasn't mechanical. His stomach knotted, fear gnawing at him, but he pushed it aside. Panic wouldn't save them. He ducked behind a half-collapsed console, heart in his throat. The steps grew closer. The child pressed against him, small and vulnerable, glowing brighter with each thud. Then a shadow swept past the corner of his vision. A creature, part machine, part flesh, its shape twisted and alien. It paused, sniffing the air, sensing them. Liam's hands shook, but he forced himself to think. He couldn't outrun this thing through the main corridor. Not with the child. He looked around, eyes landing on a narrow maintenance tunnel. Too small for the predator. He dashed toward it, squeezing the child under one arm, using the other to pull open a sliding hatch. He barely made it. The hatch slammed shut behind him with a metallic clang. The creature outside snarled, a sound that made his teeth ache. Liam pressed the child to his chest. Its glow dimmed slightly, as if acknowledging a temporary safety. He let out a breath he hadn't realized he'd been holding. What are you?" he whispered, brushing a hand over the child's glowing head. The markings shifted subtly, almost like the creature was trying to communicate. Liam had no idea what language, if any, they spoke, but he sensed intelligence and trust. He took a moment to scan the tunnel. It was narrow, claustrophobic, but solid. Debris blocked parts of it, but with careful steps he could move forward. Every noise from the station behind them made his pulse spike. He had saved the child once, but the danger wasn't over. As he moved deeper into the tunnel, a sudden tremor rattled the walls. Something massive landed on the other side of the hatch, shaking it violently. Liam froze, gripping the child tight. Sparks flew from a damaged panel above. For a heartbeat, he thought they'd been discovered, trapped with no escape. Then the glow of the child flickered, and something unexpected happened. The markings on its skin pulsed in a rapid sequence, almost like a signal. Liam squinted. Could it be a warning? A guide? Or something else entirely? He didn't have time to figure it out. The tunnel narrowed ahead, twisting sharply into darkness. He had to keep moving for both their sakes. He whispered, "Don't worry. I'll get us out. Just stay with me." But even as he said it, a shadow moved ahead, a shape he didn't recognize, enormous and poised as if waiting. Liam's heart skipped. The child's glow pulsed brighter, reacting to it. Something told him that what waited ahead was bigger than any threat he had faced yet. He swallowed hard, lifting the child higher to shield it. Every instinct screamed danger, but every fiber of his being refused to back down. Whatever was in the darkness, he would face it. Because humans didn't turn away. Humans saved lives even when the odds were impossible. And then, just as the tunnel swallowed them into complete shadow, a whisper of wind, or maybe a voice, brushed past him. A hint of something intelligent. Something alive. Something watching. Liam's stomach tightened. The child stiffened in his arms. And in that instant, he knew this rescue was only the beginning. The tunnel was darker than Liam expected. Every step echoed off the metal walls, magnifying his own heartbeat. The alien child squirmed slightly in his arms, its glow dim but steady, pulsing like a living heartbeat. Liam whispered, "Almost there. Just a little further." But he wasn't sure what there even meant. A sudden metallic screech shattered the quiet. Liam froze, listening. Something large moved behind the hatch they had passed. The creature wasn't giving up. It was searching, sniffing, hunting. He had no idea what it was, but instinct told him it was fast, clever, and dangerous. He adjusted his grip on the child and crouched low. The tunnel narrowed sharply ahead, forcing him to move carefully. Every misstep could trigger a collapse, and he didn't want to risk crushing the child, or worse, drawing attention from whatever was outside. Then, something small and quick darted across the floor in front of him. Liam's pulse jumped. It was another creature, tiny, scuttling, insect-like, with iridescent wings and sharp pincers. He froze, studying them. The alien child reacted instinctively, extending one tiny hand, and the creature halted, almost as if recognizing it. Liam blinked. The child was communicating. Somehow. He had no time to figure it out. The low rumble of the massive predator outside the hatch grew louder, vibrating through the walls. Liam knew it could break through at any moment. He needed a plan, and fast. Ahead, a narrow maintenance shaft branched off the tunnel. He could squeeze through, but it meant leaving the main corridor and heading blindly into an unknown area. Still, staying put was not an option. Liam made a split-second decision and turned into the shaft, adjusting his body to fit the tight space. The child tucked close to his chest, glowing faintly. As he moved, the alien child emitted a soft hum, almost musical, the vibrations resonating against the tunnel walls. Liam noticed the glow along its markings was changing, faster, pulsing in rhythm with the sound. He had no idea what it meant, but instinctively he followed the sound. The shaft opened into a small chamber, its ceiling collapsed in one corner. Liam set the child down carefully, scanning the room. Panels hung loose, wires sparking dangerously. He ran his fingers along a nearby console, trying to make sense of the alien technology. Most of it was incomprehensible, but one screen flickered to life as he brushed past it, showing diagrams he didn't understand, and a map of the station. That map, it showed multiple exits, paths through hidden tunnels. Relief washed over him, but only for a moment. A loud crash reverberated through the main tunnel. The predator had forced its way in. Liam's heart sank. He had just enough time to choose a path. He grabbed the child and bolted for a side hatch, narrowly avoiding falling debris. The creature outside let out a roar that shook the walls. Liam could feel the vibration through the floor. He ran faster, using every ounce of energy. The child clung to him tightly, its glow flaring as if warning him of every danger. Then the unthinkable happened. From the shadows, a second predator emerged, smaller, more agile, moving like a shadow of the first. It lunged toward them, claws extended. Liam slammed into the wall, twisting, dodging, barely avoiding the strike. He swung his shoulder into a hanging panel, knocking it into the predator. Sparks flew and the creature yelped, retreating slightly. Breathing hard, Liam pressed on. Each step carried risk, each breath could be the last. He knew he couldn't fight them both forever. He needed leverage, something to buy time. His eyes caught a series of hanging cables. Using the child's small size to his advantage, he improvised, looping a cable around a support beam and tugging with all his strength. The metal frame groaned, tipping part of the ceiling debris onto the smaller predator. It hissed in frustration but didn't pursue further. Liam paused, chest heaving, sweat stinging his eyes. The child's glow flickered, reacting to the predator outside. Liam realized the child's power, whatever it was, could influence creatures around it. He didn't understand how, but instinctively he moved closer, keeping it protected. Suddenly the glow pulsed rapidly, almost like a warning. Liam glanced ahead. The tunnel narrowed sharply, ending at a grated door. Beyond it, a faint light shimmered. He hurried, pressing the child to his chest. The roar of the main predator grew louder, echoing down the corridor, shaking dust from the ceiling. Liam reached the door and yanked at it. It resisted, heavy and stuck. He slammed his shoulder against it repeatedly. The child's glow flared, bathing the doorway in pulsating light. Finally, with a grinding metallic screech, the door shifted, allowing him to squeeze through. The moment they passed through, the predator's roar erupted on the other side of the door, shaking it violently. Liam dropped to his knees, panting, clutching the child. Relief and fear collided in his chest. They were safe for now. But the child's markings were still pulsing. Rapid, urgent. It wasn't done communicating. Liam's pulse quickened. Whatever this child was, whatever danger followed them, the next steps would be even more dangerous. And then he heard it, a whisper of movement behind them. Something large, something intelligent, something not entirely hostile. The child stiffened in his arms, glowing brighter than ever. Liam froze, heart hammering. Something waited ahead in the shadows. Something that could change everything. Liam's legs shook as he pressed forward through the narrow chamber, the alien child glowing softly against his chest. Every shadow seemed alive, every sound amplified in the silence that followed the predator's retreat. He tried to steady his breathing, but his pulse raced. Somewhere ahead, he could feel intelligence waiting, something not quite human, yet aware of their presence. He rounded a corner and froze. The tunnel opened into a vast cavern, lit by shimmering crystalline formations that pulsed faintly with an inner light. The alien child's glow intensified, reacting to the environment. Liam instinctively crouched, shielding it, unsure what else might be in this strange chamber. Then he saw her. She stood on a jagged ledge, partially hidden in shadow. A figure impossible to describe fully, a humanoid shape, but with scales that shimmered like liquid metal, wings folded elegantly behind her back, and eyes that glowed amber, piercing the dim light. The dragon woman. She moved with a fluid grace, every motion deliberate, powerful. Liam froze, unsure whether to flee or stand his ground. The child stirred, letting out a soft hum, almost musical. The dragon woman tilted her head. For a moment, time seemed to stretch. The cavern was silent except for the child's hum and the distant echoes of Liam's own heartbeat. Then she stepped closer. Liam's first instinct was fear. He raised a hand, ready to defend himself and the child. But the dragon woman did nothing aggressive. Instead, she paused, studying them carefully. Her eyes lingered on the child. The child's glow flared, pulsing rapidly as if communicating something urgent. Liam realized she understood it, and that it understood her. A voice echoed in his mind, or perhaps across the cavern, he couldn't tell. "Do not harm," it said, simple but clear, filled with authority. Liam's stomach tightened. He hadn't heard a voice out loud, yet somehow he understood. His fingers tightened around the child. I won't," he said aloud, though it felt almost unnecessary. The dragon woman's gaze shifted to him. She was not hostile. But she was no ordinary being. Every inch of her presence radiated intelligence, experience, and power. Liam realized he was not just facing a creature, he was facing a guardian, a sentinel, a being who had existed long before humans ever walked the stars. The child stirred again, pressing closer to Liam. The glowing markings on its skin now formed patterns he could almost recognize, like a map or a warning. The dragon woman lowered her head slightly, studying the child's glow with an intensity that made Liam's chest tighten. Then, without warning, the cavern trembled. Rocks shifted, dust falling from the ceiling. The predator from the tunnels had followed them, somehow. Liam spun around just in time to see a shadow moving along the cavern's edge, larger than before, slower, deliberate. It sniffed the air, searching. He knew they had seconds to act. He crouched, thinking fast. There was a series of crystals along the cavern floor, faintly glowing. Some of them were unstable. Touch one and it might shatter, creating light or noise. He needed a distraction, something to keep the predator from finding them. He whispered, "Stay close." The child's glow flared, almost as if responding. Liam nudged it slightly, and it pulsed a sequence of light bursts. The dragon woman's eyes followed the pattern. She stepped forward, wings unfurling slightly, creating a subtle barrier between them and the predator. The creature hesitated. Liam realized the child's glow, combined with her presence, was enough to deter it. The predator roared, frustration and anger vibrating through the cavern. Liam's heart raced, but he didn't flinch. He had made a decision. He would protect the child at any cost, and somehow he would survive. He caught a faint movement in the crystal shards ahead. A cluster of the larger ones wobbled precariously. With precise timing, he kicked one. It toppled into another, sending a shower of light scattering across the floor, illuminating the cavern in a sudden, brilliant burst. The predator hissed, blinded temporarily. Liam seized the moment, pulling the child closer. He could feel her, the dragon woman, moving beside him, her presence like a shield. Together, they advanced toward a narrow exit tunnel illuminated faintly by crystalline light. But just as they neared the tunnel, a sharp snap echoed behind them. Liam turned his head, heart in his throat. One of the predator's claws had caught part of the ledge above, sending a cascade of rocks tumbling toward them. He dove, shielding the child, rolling to the side. The rocks crashed behind him with deafening force. Dust and debris filled the air. The dragon woman let out a low, resonant hum, and the child's glow flared again, illuminating her scales in a dazzling display. Liam could see intelligence in her eyes, almost as if she was assessing him, measuring his courage, his choices. He realized something profound. This was not just about survival. This encounter was testing him, testing humanity itself. He grabbed the child and ran through the tunnel, the dragon woman gliding beside him with effortless grace. Every step was calculated, every movement mattered. Liam's mind raced, trying to anticipate the predator's next move. But one thing was clear, they were not just escaping, they were being observed, studied, and perhaps guided. Finally, they reached a junction, a series of corridors leading deeper into the station. Liam paused, catching his breath. The child's glow had stabilized, pulsing in a steady rhythm now. The dragon woman stood a few feet away watching him. For the first time, Liam felt the weight of understanding. The child and the dragon woman were connected. And somehow he was part of that connection now. A whisper of movement sounded from above. Metal scraping against metal. Liam's pulse quickened. The predator was not giving up. He had to act again and fast. But for the first time he felt a spark of hope. They had allies, unexpected, powerful, and intelligent. And if he played his cards right he could survive. Then the dragon woman stepped forward, her amber eyes locking on his. A silent message passed between them. This is only the beginning. The predator's roar echoed through the twisting corridors of the alien station, shaking dust from the ceiling and rattling metal panels. Liam pressed the alien child closer, its glow pulsing like a heartbeat against his chest. Every nerve in his body screamed danger, but he refused to falter. They had come too far to be stopped now. The dragon woman glided beside him, her wings tucked close, eyes scanning the shadows. Liam realized she was not only protecting them but also guiding them, her movements precise, anticipating dangers he couldn't see. He could feel her intelligence, her strategy, and in that he found a fragile thread of hope. Ahead, the corridor opened into a vast chamber, the walls lined with alien machinery, long dormant but humming faintly with power. Liam's eyes darted across it, spotting panels that might be leveraged, crates that could be moved, and a narrow catwalk above that could serve as a vantage point. He needed a plan, fast. The predator emerged first, a massive, twisted figure, half organic, half machine, its limbs jagged and uneven. It moved with terrifying speed, jaws snapping. Liam froze for a heartbeat, then remembered the child's glow, the subtle patterns it emitted in response to danger. He took a calculated risk, holding the child outward slightly, letting its light flare toward the predator. The creature hesitated. Its instincts seemed confused by the alien child's presence, and Liam seized the moment. He grabbed a nearby metallic beam and swung it toward a control panel, sparks flying as he struck it. The machinery groaned and shuddered, releasing a cloud of smoke and energy pulses that momentarily blinded the predator. The child let out a soft, musical hum, pulsing in perfect rhythm with the dragon woman's movements. She stepped forward, wings spreading just enough to cast a shadow that blocked the predator's line of sight. Liam's mind raced. He had seconds to act. He spotted a series of energy conduits running along the floor, unstable, dangerous, but potentially useful. One misstep and they could collapse, but one right move and they could create a barrier or trap. Liam ran toward them, dragging the child along. The predator snapped at him, claws tearing through the chamber air. Liam dove across a conduit, kicking it as he landed. Sparks erupted, igniting a chain reaction along the metal pipes. The predator hissed, retreating slightly. Liam saw an opportunity. He glanced at the dragon woman. She nodded subtly. Understanding passed between them without words. He would lead the predator through a trap while she protected the child. He sprinted toward the far side of the chamber, weaving between machinery, drawing the predator's attention. Sparks and falling debris rained down, but Liam moved with precision, using instinct and quick thinking to stay ahead. The predator lunged and Liam ducked, rolling to the side, leading it directly onto a weakened platform. The structure groaned under the predator's weight, metal bending. Liam glanced back at the child, who glowed brighter with each pulse as if encouraging him. The dragon woman flitted to their side, shielding the child with her wings. Liam's chest pounded, sweat stinging his eyes, but he didn't falter. He pushed the predator to the platform's edge. Then the platform gave way. The predator roared, crashing down into the machinery below, sending sparks and smoke into the air. Liam exhaled sharply, relief flooding him, but there was no time to linger. The chamber shook again. Liam realized the predator had only been a test. Something bigger waited, something intelligent, something that had orchestrated this chase. He could feel it in the vibrations beneath his feet. The dragon woman's gaze shifted upward, toward a massive, sealed hatch at the chamber's far end. Her wings unfurled fully this time, revealing the strength and elegance of her form. Liam realized she intended to fly through it with the child. But the hatch was high and he would have to climb to take the risk of exposure. "Hold on," he whispered to the child. With a deep breath, he grabbed the edge of a hanging conduit, swinging upward. Sparks flew from damaged panels, brushing his shoulders. The predator's roar echoed faintly below, but Liam ignored it, focusing on the hatch above. The dragon woman flew closer, reaching down. Her hands, scaled but gentle, took the child from Liam's arms. The child's glow flared brightly, almost blindingly. Liam felt a surge of relief, then panic. If he didn't follow, he would be left behind, separated from them, and the predator, or something worse, would catch up. He climbed, hand over hand, adrenaline fueling his muscles. Each swing of the conduit felt like a battle in itself. The hatch was within reach, but so was the danger. A shadow shifted across the wall, a second predator, faster, smaller, more cunning. Liam ducked just in time as it lunged past, claws scraping the metal where his hands had been seconds before. He leapt, grabbing the hatch edge. The dragon woman helped pull him up, her strength astonishing. Finally he was through, sliding onto the chamber's upper platform. He collapsed briefly, catching his breath, watching as the predator below roared in frustration, unable to reach them. The dragon woman looked at him, amber eyes intense. Liam could feel the unspoken acknowledgement. They had survived together. Courage, intelligence, and determination had won, but the battle had revealed something deeper. The child rested in her arms, glowing faintly, markings shifting as if sending a message. Liam studied it, realizing this rescue was more than a life saved. It was the beginning of a connection, between species, between destiny, between him and beings far beyond human understanding. He looked at the dragon woman, her wings folding, her gaze softening. Then he noticed it, a faint light at the far end of the platform, like a portal waiting. Something beyond, a path to answers, to challenges he hadn't imagined. The child stirred, glowing brighter. Liam's chest tightened. Whatever lay ahead, he knew the stakes would be higher, the danger greater. But he would face it. Humans didn't turn away from impossible odds. They adapted, they endured, and they fought for what mattered. And in that moment, Liam realized, this was only the beginning. The roar below faded, but the feeling remained, something watching, waiting, assessing. The child's glow pulsed once more, urgent, almost insistent. Liam swallowed hard. The next move, the next choice would change everything. Liam crouched on the upper platform, chest heaving, sweat streaking his dirt-covered face. The dragon woman stood a few feet away, wings folded, eyes calm but vigilant. The alien child rested safely in her arms, its glow soft, almost peaceful now. For the first time since entering the station, Liam felt a sliver of relief. They had survived the predator's assault, but the tension lingered, a reminder that danger never truly disappeared. He watched the child, mesmerized by the patterns pulsing across its skin. The glow formed intricate sequences, subtle but deliberate. Liam's mind raced. Could it be a message? Coordinates? A signal? Or perhaps a warning? The child had been sent here for a reason, one he had barely begun to understand. The dragon woman's amber eyes met his. Liam felt her intelligence like a tangible presence, weighing him, assessing him. He realized this was more than gratitude or acknowledgement. She was gauging his courage, his adaptability, his worthiness. Humans had survived impossible odds before, but she seemed to sense something different about him, a spark that went beyond instinct or survival. Liam swallowed hard. I don't know what I've done, he said softly, voice hoarse. He gestured toward the child. I couldn't leave it behind. I didn't have a choice. The dragon woman inclined her head slightly. It was not a response in words but in meaning. Liam understood. His choice, his courage, his determination, it had mattered. Humans could falter, could fear, could run. But he had done neither. He had faced the impossible, and in doing so, he had earned a place in a story far larger than himself. The child stirred, glowing brighter, and Liam noticed a subtle movement. The markings shifted in a new sequence, forming shapes he almost recognized. The dragon woman's wings lifted slightly, and the child's glow pulsed in harmony with her movements. It was as if the three of them, human, child, dragon woman, were now connected in a silent rhythm of understanding, a unity forged through danger and courage. Liam exhaled slowly, letting himself relax for just a moment. The station was quiet now, the echoes of destruction fading into distant hums. He realized how close they had come to failure, how easily everything could have ended in fire and metal. And yet here they were, alive. But even in the relief, Liam felt the weight of responsibility. The child was not just an innocent creature in need. It carried significance, powers, knowledge, perhaps even a mission. And he was part of that now, bound by choice and circumstance. He had no idea what the future held, but he understood one thing. He could not walk away. The dragon woman moved closer to the platform's edge, holding the child protectively. Liam stepped forward cautiously. Where do we go from here?" he asked. The words sounded small in the vast chamber. The dragon woman's eyes shifted toward the far end of the platform, where a faint, shimmering light hinted at another passage. Liam followed her gaze, heart tightening with a mixture of curiosity and trepidation. Whatever lay ahead, it was unknown, and yet it felt deliberate, like an invitation or a challenge. The child stirred again, resting its tiny hand against the dragon woman's chest. The glow pulsed in a steady rhythm, almost as if reassuring Liam. He realized this: survival was no longer the measure of success. Understanding, connection, courage under pressure, that was what mattered now. Humans had a place in this strange new world, and he was discovering it step by step. He glanced at the dragon woman, then back at the child. For a brief moment, a sense of hope blossomed within him. They were allies now, an unlikely team forged in fire and danger. The predator was gone, but greater mysteries awaited. Liam knew the next challenge would be harder, the stakes higher, but he no longer felt powerless. Then something caught his eye. A faint movement along the shadows at the far edge of the chamber. A ripple of light, almost like a figure observing them from a distance. Liam's pulse quickened. The child's glow pulsed sharply in response, urgent and insistent. It was a subtle warning, a signal that they were not alone. He felt a surge of determination. Whatever was out there, whether enemy, guardian, or test, they would face it together. He would not run. He could not run. Humans survived impossible odds because they acted, because they fought, because they had the courage to face what others fled. And Liam had chosen that path not once but twice, and he would choose it again. The dragon woman looked at him, then gestured toward the faint light beyond the platform. Liam understood without words. They would move forward. The child's glow pulsed once more, synchronized with the dragon woman's wings. Liam lifted his chin, squared his shoulders, and stepped forward toward the unknown. Behind them, the remnants of the predator's path shimmered faintly, a reminder of danger overcome. Ahead, the light promised discovery, challenge, and perhaps answers. Liam's heart raced with anticipation. Every step forward was a choice, every choice a testament to human courage. As they disappeared into the light, the faint hum of alien energy echoed through the station. Liam knew their journey was far from over. Somewhere beyond the glow, a greater mystery waited. One that would test him, the child, and the dragon woman in ways he could not yet imagine. But one thing was certain: humans had a place in this universe, and Liam would not turn away from it. The child's glow pulsed one final time in the chamber, a silent signal to whatever intelligence watched. Then, together, human and alien, dragon and child, stepped into the unknown, leaving the remnants of the battle behind. The adventure had only just begun.